She said, "Call the cops if you want. They'll believe me, not you." It was after she threw my things into the street and scratched my face in front of her friends. I just stayed silent. But when the police showed up, the officer looked at me and said, "Don't worry, little brother. We'll handle this." It's Saturday afternoon, and I'm standing on my own front lawn in a steady drizzle, watching my life get thrown out of a second-story window. My wife, Jenna, is up there, her face twisted, in a rage I've never seen before, tossing my clothes, my books, and my laptop out onto the wet grass. Her two best friends are standing on the porch below, watching like it's a spectator sport, occasionally cheering her on. The reason for this explosion: I had to work a mandatory overtime shift at the fire station and missed a dinner reservation she'd made. That's it, I just got home a few minutes ago. When I tried to walk past her to get inside my own house, she lunged at me. Her nails left 4 sharp, stinging trails down my cheek. The shock of it was more painful than the scratches. Then, she stood back, flanked by her friends, and gave me a look of pure, triumphant hatred. "What are you going to do now, Mike?" she sneered. "Call the cops. Go on, do it. I dare you. Who do you think they're going to believe? Me? The woman you just tried to assault in your own home? Or you?" She gestured at the scene, my things strewn across the lawn, the scratches on my face, her friends ready to act as witnesses. She had crafted the perfect narrative. In her version of this story, she was the victim. I just stood there, the rain soaking my hair, and looked at this woman I had married 2 years ago. And in that moment, I realized I didn't know her at all. I didn't say a word. I just reached into my pocket and pulled out my phone. She saw it, and a smug, confident smirk spread across her face. She thought she had me cornered. She thought I was weak, predictable, and alone. She was wrong on all 3 counts. I didn't dial 911. I sent a short-coded text to my older brother, the brother she knows almost nothing about, the brother she thinks I haven't spoken to in over a decade, the brother she has no idea is a sergeant with the city police and whose shift just started 20 minutes ago. My name is Mike. I'm 36, and I'm a firefighter. My job is to bring order to chaos. Jenna, my wife, is 33. She used to be a paralegal, and she was good at it. When we met, she had this fire in her, a passion for justice that I found incredibly attractive. She volunteered at a women's advocacy center and talked a lot about empowering the vulnerable. I thought we shared the same core values. After we got married, she moved into my house, a place I'd bought with a small inheritance from my father. She decided the legal world was too draining and quit her job to become a life coach for women. I supported her completely. I paid for all the certifications, the workshops, the website, everything. I covered the mortgage and all the bills so she could build her business without pressure. I see now that her passion wasn't for empowering others. It was for empowering herself, at my expense. My family history is complicated. My dad was a firefighter too. He died in a warehouse fire when I was 19. His death shattered our family. My older brother, Kevin, who was already a rookie cop, took it the hardest. We had a brutal fight a few months after the funeral when I announced I was enrolling in the fire academy. He begged me not to. He couldn't stand the thought of losing me the same way we lost our dad. I was stubborn. I told him it was my life, my choice. The fight created a rift between us that lasted for 15 years. We lived in different states, built different lives, and never spoke. Jenna knew this story, the simplified version at least. She knew I had a brother and that we were estranged. She saw this as a weakness, proof that I was isolated and had no real support system. It made me an easier target. What she didn't know was that Kevin had been transferred back to our city 6 months ago. He reached out. It was awkward at first, but we met for a beer. We talked for hours. We were both older, hopefully wiser. We both admitted how stupid we'd been. That one beer turned into a weekly dinner. We were rebuilding what we'd lost piece by piece. It was the best thing that had happened to me in years. I never told Jenna. My relationship with Kevin felt private, sacred. It was the one part of my life that wasn't connected to her and her ever-growing list of demands and criticisms. My marriage was beginning to feel hollow, and my rediscovered bond with my brother was the only thing that felt real. Jenna's coaching business became a platform for her resentments. She started talking down to me, belittling my job. My friends from the station were unrefined. My life was simple. She and her friends Amy and Lisa would have these long talks on the patio that would stop whenever I came outside. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't realize how wrong until today. This whole scene on the lawn felt staged. The argument over the dinner reservation was the excuse, not the reason. She wanted this confrontation. She wanted to create a situation where she could paint herself as the victim and me as the aggressor. Her work as a paralegal and her volunteer time at the Women's Center had taught her exactly how to manipulate the system. She knew the right words to use, the right emotions to fake. She was confident that any cop who showed up would see a hysterical woman and a big, intimidating man with scratches on his face and immediately take her side. So I stood there silently and sent the text to Kevin. Code 1034, my address. Need you now. It was our old childhood code from playing cops and robbers. It meant things were bad. It meant I needed my big brother. The siren started as a faint wail in the distance and grew steadily louder. Jenna's smirk never wavered. She crossed her arms and waited for her victory. Update 1. The arrival of the police was exactly the kind of drama Jenna had been hoping for. 2 patrol cars, lights painting the gray, rainy afternoon in flashes of red and blue. Thank you to everyone who has commented and sent messages of support. It's been a crazy 24 hours. Jenna immediately launched into her performance. The tears started flowing on two. She pointed a tumbling finger at me. He did this. He just went crazy. He threw me out, and then he attacked me when I tried to get my things. Her friends Amy and Lisa jumped in, providing a flawless supporting chorus of lies. We saw the whole thing. He just snapped. 4 officers approached the scene, their faces neutral but cautious. They saw what Jenna wanted them to see. My things scattered on the lawn, me standing there looking grim with fresh scratches on my face, and 3 women on the porch, one of whom was putting on an Oscar-worthy display of distress. Then the back door of the 2nd patrol car opened and my brother stepped out. Sergeant Kevin Miller wasn't in uniform, just jeans and a department-issued jacket, but he radiated an authority that silenced the chaos. He walked past his officers, his gaze sweeping over the scene before locking on to me. He didn't smile. His eyes lingered on the scratches on my cheek, then on the muddy pile of my belongings. I saw his jaw clench. He stopped directly in front of me, completely ignoring Jenna and her friends. For the first time in 15 years, I saw the fierce, protective look of the big brother who used to chase away bullies for me in the schoolyard. He put a hand on my shoulder and spoke, his voice low and meant only for me. "Don't worry, little brother. We'll handle this." He then turned to his officers, his voice shifting to a crisp, commanding tone. "Everybody, turn on your body cams. Davis, you and Martinez get statements from the women on the porch. I want them separated. Get every detail. I'll take Mr. Miller's statement." The dynamic of the situation changed in a heartbeat. Jenna's confident act faltered. She hadn't counted on this. She didn't recognize Kevin, but she could see that the officer in charge was, for some reason, treating me with difference. Officer Davis, a sharp-looking woman in her 30s, approached me first. "Sir, I need to get your side of what happened here." Kevin held up a hand. "I've got this, Davis. You handle them." He guided me away from the house, positioning himself so his back was to Jenna, creating a physical and psychological barrier. "Okay, Mike," he said, his voice back to being just my brother's. "Tell me everything." I laid it all out. The fight over the dinner, the way it felt staged, her throwing my things out the window and her scratching me when I tried to enter my own house. I told him about her dare, her absolute certainty that the police would believe her over me. While I was talking, I could hear Officer Davis and her partner interviewing the 3 women. Jenna's story was elaborate. She claimed I had a drinking problem, that I flew into a jealous rage, that I had thrown her out and then assaulted her. Amy and Lisa backed her up on every point, adding their own little details to make the story more convincing. When I finished, Kevin just nodded. He had been recording my statement on a small, discreet audio recorder. "All right," he said, "just stay here." He walked over and had a quiet word with his partner. Then he approached the porch. "Ma'am," he said, addressing Jenna directly. His voice was calm, professional. "I just want to confirm your statement. You're alleging that your husband assaulted you and you scratched him in self-defense. Is that correct?" "Yes," Jenna sobbed. "He's violent and controlling. My friend saw everything." Kevin looked at Amy and Lisa. "And you both witnessed your friend's husband assault her?" They both nodded vigorously. "Okay," Kevin said. He pulled out his phone. "I just have one piece of evidence I'd like you to see." He turned the screen towards them and played a video. It was from the security camera I had installed over my front door a year ago. The footage was crystal clear. It showed Jenna screaming, throwing my belongings from the window. It showed me walking calmly up to the porch, and it showed her completely unprovoked, lunging at me and clawing at my face. The world went silent. The only sound was the rain dripping from the gutters. Jenna's face went white. Her friends looked like they were about to be sick. Kevin put his phone back in his pocket. "That," he said, his voice like ice, "is what actually happened. Officer Davis, please place Miss Miller under arrest for domestic assault. And I want her 2 friends brought down to the station for questioning regarding filing a false police report. Lying to a police officer is a felony in this state." The scene erupted. Jenna started screaming that I had set her up, that the video was fake. Amy and Lisa started babbling, trying to retract their statements, saying they were scared and confused, but it was too late. Their lies were all recorded on the body cams. As Officer Davis was putting the cuffs on Jenna, she finally looked hard at Kevin, the family resemblance finally clicking in her panicked mind. "Who are you?" she stammered. Kevin held her gaze, his expression unreadable. "I'm his brother." I watched them lead her to the patrol car. Her face was pressed against the window and she was staring at me with a look of pure, venomous hatred. I didn't feel happy. I just felt a profound, hollow emptiness. Kevin came back over to me. "You're not staying here tonight. Let's go. You're with me." I spent the night on his couch. We didn't talk much at first. He just made us both a steak dinner. Then, late into the night, we started talking about our dad, about the stupid fight that had kept us apart, about everything. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel alone. The fire in my life was still burning, but for the first time, I felt like I had the strength to put it out. Update 2. 2 weeks later, the past 2 weeks have felt like emerging from a smoke-filled room into clean air. The legal process is moving forward and the personal rebuilding has begun. Thank you again to everyone here for the support. Jenna was released on bail, which her parents paid. She's facing a serious domestic assault charge. With the video evidence and the body cam footage of her lies, her case is essentially unwinnable. Her friends Amy and Lisa are also facing charges for filing a false police report. They immediately turned on Jenna, of course, claiming she manipulated them into lying. Their friendship, it seems, was as fake as their witness statements. The fallout in Jenna's life has been swift and brutal. The Women's Advocacy Center, where she had built her reputation as a champion for the vulnerable, permanently banned her from their premises. The story of a volunteer faking abuse to frame her husband was a PR nightmare they wanted nothing to do with. Her life coaching business, which was already on shaky ground, has completely evaporated. Her name is now toxic in the very circles she tried so hard to impress. I filed for divorce immediately. My lawyer says it will be a clean break. The marriage was short. The house is my premarital property. and her assault provides clear grounds for a fault-based divorce. She will walk away with nothing but her own legal bills. The best thing to come out of this mess has been reconnecting with Kevin. That first week I stayed at his place, it was like no time had passed. We fell back into the easy rhythm of brotherhood, watching bad movies, cooking, and just being there for each other. He told me he disliked Jenna from the moment he met her at our wedding. He said she had a victim mentality and that she looked at me like I was a resource, not a partner. He was right. I just hadn't been ready to see it. He also did some digging, using his resources. It turns out Jenna has a history of this. A sealed juvenile record showed she had accused a high school boyfriend of assault after he broke up with her. The charges were dropped, but the pattern was there. This wasn't a one-time mistake, it was her go-to move. Last weekend, Kevin, a few of my firefighter buddies, and I had a cleansing day at my house. We boxed up every last trace of Jenna and moved it to a storage unit. My lawyer sent her the key with a notice that she had 30 days to retrieve her things. While we were cleaning the lawn, one of my friends found the framed photo of my dad. It was lying face down in the mud. The glass shattered. Seeing that broke something in me. The emptiness I had felt was replaced by a pure, cold anger. She hadn't just attacked me, she had desecrated a memory. She had thrown my father's legacy in the dirt. I carefully took the photo out of the broken frame. That night, I ordered a new one, handcrafted from solid oak. It's back on my nightstand now. The house is quiet. It feels like my own again. Final update. 3 months later. 3 months have passed. The divorce is final. The criminal proceedings are over. My life is back in order. Jenna's trial was a pathetic affair. Faced with the undeniable video evidence, she pleaded no contest. She received 2 years of probation, a hefty fine, and was court-ordered to attend. A year of intensive therapy. Her friends got off with lesser charges, but their reputations are ruined. Jenna's life is a shadow of what it was. Her parents are reportedly paying her rent for a tiny apartment across town. She has no job, no friends, and a criminal record that will follow her forever. The empowered woman, who was so sure of her ability to manipulate the world, is now completely powerless. But this story was never really about her downfall. It was about what was rebuilt in its place. My bond with my brother is stronger than it has ever been. We are not just brothers. We are family. We see each other constantly. We're planning a fishing trip next month to the lake our dad used to take us. 2 weeks ago, on the anniversary of our dad's death, we went to the cemetery together for the first time in 15 years. We stood there in front of his headstone and Kevin put his arm around my shoulder. You know, he would have been really proud. Of you, Mike. He said, you stayed calm. You didn't let her drag you down to her level. You handled it like a man. Coming from him, that meant more than anything. The revenge wasn't about watching her get arrested. It wasn't about the divorce. The real revenge is my life now. It's peaceful, it's honest, and it's full of the one thing she tried to convince me I didn't have. Family. She tried to burn my life to the ground, but she forgot that I'm a firefighter. I walk into the flames and I come out stronger. She thought the cops would believe her. In the end, the only one who needed to believe me was my brother, and he was there.